Hi everybody, it's Kate from Katie Did. You might recall that we found this really cool stripy rock down by the river, and I thought, wouldn't it be neat to take this rock and go all the way from the beginning where we find it to going through the slabbing process, the cabbing process, and finally making it into a beautiful necklace. And when I'm done, as long as it turns out, I think I'm going to have another giveaway. So come along with me, let's see how this works.
This rock caught my eye. Not because I think it's necessarily collectible, but because it has, woohoo! Holy cow, I changed my mind there. Wow, look at all those stripes in there. I am just astonished. I spotted this and I just thought it looked kind of interesting because it had such neat colors. But wow, that is just gorgeous. I can't wait to take it home and slice it open.
Okay, so we actually have the rock in the slab saw. You can see that it has gone past the diamond blade, and we're going to pick up the first little slab here to see what it looks like. And it looks like, predictably, it is going to be very, very pretty. And we are going to go ahead and do the second slab. So the only thing you need to do is move it away from the diamond saw, and then turn 3.5 times. This has been sticking a little bit, probably because it's so mucky. Anyway, 3.5 times is my standard slab width, and turn it on. This is the exciting part. Okay, reaching in, taking a look. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay, I'm going to take 1 or 2 more slices of this, and we're going to choose the nicest one for our project. It's pretty, huh? You can't really see how pretty it is because it's all slimy, but we're going to try 1 more slice, and then hopefully we'll have enough to choose something really beautiful. Oh, those are looking pretty nice. You know, I'm gonna do probably just 1 more because I can. This has just turned out so cool. We have all kinds of different shapes and sizes. These actually were my dad's, so they're pretty old. And a lot of these are pretty small, like for setting for rings and things like that. And since I'm making a pendant, that's not really something that I'm all that interested in. So I tend to use this big one fairly most often. I do like the hearts, I do like the circles. I'm kind of, this little, this oval is kind of appealing to me at the moment. So what you do is just set them on there. Oops, that's not the one I wanted to see. Set them on there and move it around. I like that. I just like them all, what can I say? Ooh, this is kind of cool, but I don't know, a lot of people don't like really big pendants. I tend to like larger pieces just because then they show off the rock more. But I think I'm definitely going to make this one into a heart. What size, I'm not sure yet. And this one, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I just don't know. Okay, I appear to have failed in getting the thing recording properly, so I'll just show you again what it is that we're doing with these rocks. I have here a heart shape on this one, I decided, and I moved the stencil around and around to try to find kind of what I felt was the prettiest way of cutting the stone. I chose to do a line through here that sort of mirrors the edge of this heart, and I tried several other ways, but they all kind of made the heart look fractured. This one sort of draws it all together. And I also decided to do the long oval on this side, not necessarily because it could not have been anything else, but I just really like that long length. And even though I'm a little concerned that that large of a stone is not going to be for everybody. I just really think that because this is such a pretty streak in the middle, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful stone. So this is what we're going to take to the trim saw. Okay, so I just want to give you a little tour first of this fancy oil catcher that my husband and I made. Actually, my husband made it, I designed it, sort of, and he kind of finessed it. Okay, I just bought the tub and said, let's make something out of this, and then he did everything else. It's just a regular storage tub, and you can see that the slot is cut here so that it fits nicely over this handmade trim saw that is also from the 1970s. And in the front here, we have cut a hole and installed a piece of plexiglass. You can see that he's got bolts all the way around it. We also used silicone all the way around it in order to seal it. And up here, there was a little problem with the oil splattering out. And so he has actually 3D printed this little thing to slot onto here and make it so that it is it won't splatter all over me, which was kind of the point in the first place. There is a little bit of a problem in that the oil still splatters, and so it kind of collects on here, but it's much better than it was. What used to happen is that I would have to get all dolled up in like oilcloth and cover everything, and then every time I used the trim saw, I would end up with oil in my hair. So this is definitely a better idea. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and don't stress out if you are worried about the saw blade. It actually won't cut your finger. I tested it with things that should be very easy to cut before I actually touched it myself because I didn't really believe it, but I think you could probably give yourself a nice manicure if you held your fingernails up against the edges of it. But other than that, it's okay. So don't stress if you're worried about me cutting. Here we have the two rough shapes. I think they're going to be pretty. They may not be exactly what I had planned, but they're close. And so let's take it to the next step. The reason that these are on this little heater thing is that if you actually put it on just cold stone, it won't stick. It just breaks right off of it. So having a hot stone allows it to make contact a little bit more firmly and ends up keeping the stone attached, which is definitely what you want. Alright, so here we have the dop sticks all ready to start with the polish. Here we have the heart that we cut out, and over here is that long oval that didn't turn out so long. And then I have a whole bunch of other things. Since I was heating the wax, I decided I would just stop a whole bunch of stuff. And so, next step we're going to do is to polish. So our next step is to take these diamond polishing pads. You can see I've got 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1500, and actually the 3000 is on the machine right now, on the angle grinder. So we take each of these and we dip the stones in water and then use these diamond polishing pads. The 50 grit is probably the one that takes the longest time because you're actually grinding down all the rough edges and making everything look, the right shape. And then after that, you just keep on polishing and dipping and cleaning until you finally get to the 3000. I will show you this kind of in fast motion because it's something that takes quite a long time, and I can't imagine that you'd like to sit through that. I certainly wouldn't. And then I will kind of check in with each level and show you what they're like. Grit. 400 grit. 800. Just 2 more left. Here's the 1500. And finally, 3000 grit. I have like a rough patch in the middle of both of these, and I'm not sure why that is. I've had this same problem with other things that I've done. I really am extremely new to this whole thing, and so I'm not sure. This is what we have so far. And it's somewhat shiny, but it's not super shiny. I don't know for sure if this granite type stuff just doesn't shine up, or if there's a deficiency in my polishing, which of course I know there is. I do have a little kind of spot in the middle there that just isn't quite shiny, and I've had that trouble with other cabs that I've made as well. So if you know what that is and why it does that, if you could let me know, then I can try to not do it the next time I make it. Anyway, it's a pretty little thing. I'm going to try some wire wrapping. I am not going to film that because as bad as I am at polishing, I'm even worse at wire wrapping, and it takes me a long time to figure it out. So once I get it done, I will show you what it looks like. So this is what we ended up with. There's the back. The bail where you put the wire is pretty skinny, but I think it'll be okay. You can't see the wire, or you can't see the stone, in my opinion, nearly well enough. But since the stone wasn't super shiny, I decided that this was okay. Anyway, so that's the end of the wire wrapping. And what I'm going to do is I am going to give this away to a winner. I'll just do a random drawing from the comments again, just like I usually do. But what I would like you to do is tell me something new that you learned this year. As you can see from this video, I am just learning to do lapidary stuff. I am just learning to do wire wrapping. One of the reasons my channel is called Katie Did is because I just love to learn new things. I try to learn something new all the time. And so while I am not necessarily an expert at things, I do like to learn, and I do like to try new things. So in the comments to enter the giveaway, tell me something new that you learned this year. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, all those things. And thanks for watching. This is Kate from Katie Did. Keep on doing.